I've seen that Kurzgesagt, which is a channel that does like educational videos, you know. He made a video that came out yesterday. It's called Are You an NPC? So considering a lot of skibbity kids watch me, I felt like it was appropriate to watch this video, you know, and react to it. And then after that we'll react to some scary shit. Cause why not? Anyways, yeah. Let's go.
Are you free? Free to choose what you do and make decisions? Or are you an NPC, unable to decide anything for yourself? You feel that you have control over your life, or at least what you'll have for breakfast. But this may be an illusion. Physics actually may force you to go through life as if on rails, with no free will at all.
So this is one of those like, well, yeah, you do choose, but do you? Do you choose though? Do you?
Experience free will all the time. Like when you decided to watch this video instead of doing something useful.
Hey, I'm streaming, okay? I'm making content. This is useful. I'm being productive. Shut up.
Free will is your ability to decide by yourself what you do. It means that the future is an open arena that you can shape with your actions. It's at the core of human relationships.
I love how you just made the whole thing like look like a video game, you know what I mean, as well? Just to rub it in that you are an NPC. What the fuck? Hello? Hello?
You are responsible for your actions, which is the basis of our moral and legal systems. There are too many dimensions for one short video: moral, psychological, biological, so we'll focus on the most essential part. Is free will even possible? Two main philosophical camps are fighting about
can you
this.
even really say, like, can you even like say anything about this really? Because to be fair, is it possible? I mean, that depends. Do you think everything is already set in motion, you know, and predetermined, or not? That's all it boils down to. If not, then yeah, clearly you can. If no, then you were gonna do the action that you're gonna do anyways. Like,
No matter how
there's not really much to this debate.
they'll be upset about it, so we'll use our own words. The first camp claims that the very idea of free will
I am in the free will camp, by the way. That's what I'm in.
is fundamentally incompatible with the laws of the universe. You are an NPC. Whatever you exactly are, it's somehow made
Did you hear
up
that, guys? Did you hear that, guys? I just want to make sure you all hear that. You know what I mean? So that is a message meant to you.
incompatible with the laws of the universe.
You ready? You ready?
You are an NPC.
Rub that in your head.
Whatever you exactly are, it's
Make sure you
somehow
remember
made
that.
up of your physical brain and body. And these are made of cells, which are made of proteins, which are made of atoms and particles like protons or electrons. So fundamentally, you're a specific, quite lovely, dynamic pattern of particles. Particles have no will, no motivation, no freedom. They blindly follow the laws of physics. And we don't know why, but most laws of physics are deterministic, which means that things happen the way they do because of the things that came before. If you play pool and hit a ball at a specific speed and angle, the laws of physics tell you
Hello,
exactly
Toxic
how
Cannon.
all the balls on the table will behave, their speeds, recoil directions, everything. These laws completely decide
I mean,
the
yes, but I
behavior
don't think you can compare literal just like objects that have no brain, you know? No actual free will, if I dare say, to, you know, people, humans who have brains that are more complicated. Like, this is a very simple object. It's just a brown fucking ball. Like, that's all it is. It has nothing inside it, you know what I mean? It's not a
all
complicated
balls
thing.
on the table. At the microscopic
You can't really
level,
compare
things
fucking
work very much like
eight
that,
ball, an
only
8-ball to
without
fucking
phase. Actions and reactions affect
they're
all
human.
the particles in the universe, creating a chain of causal effects that extends throughout time, from the past to the future.
Because the thing is, like you said, he said like earlier, for example. Like, I mean, this is not his opinion, right? This is just the, like, when you hit a ball, right? It'll go a specific way. If it hits another ball, it'll always cause that same reaction if it's hit at the exact same angle, etc. But the issue is that if you put a human in front of a certain scenario, like circumstances are the same, everything is the same. Different people will do different things. Is the thing. The only thing you can argue is that one person, right, will always do the same thing. In which case, I mean, yes, if the circumstances are the exact same throughout their entire life, then yeah, they will do a different thing. Or they will do the same thing every single time. But that, I don't see how that proves that you don't have any free will. Because let's say if they, because the thing is, like, oh, fuck, I don't even know how to explain this. if you, let's say, if you know, for example, you know what I mean, that you're meant to do something, well, then there's a chance you'll do it, or you'll do the other thing. And I doubt that, for example, will be the same every single time.
At the microscopic level, things work very much like that, only without players. Actions and reactions affect all the particles in the universe, creating a chain of causal effects that extends throughout time, from the past to the future. Things happen, making other things happen. Now imagine that if right after the Big Bang...
Yes, but the thing is, a certain... when those bricks are falling, to use that, you know, there could be two paths for bricks, you know what I mean? And they also... only one of them tumbles, maybe, you know what I mean? At the end of the straight line, there's like two separate paths, and only one of them tumbles. And what's that? You know, that could be luck, or just chance. You know,
a smart
same thing.
Computer looked at every single particle in the universe and noted all their
properties. For example, you know, I could have woken up today at 10 a.m. like I planned to, or slept until literally an hour ago. But either could have happened. Honestly, I chose to do this. I chose to fucking sleep for like, I don't know, 16 hours.
Existence would be doing until the end of time. But if you're made of particles and it's technically possible to calculate what particles will do forever, then you never decided anything. Your past, present, and future were already predetermined and decided at the Big Bang. That would mean
Indeed.
There is a kind of fate, and you are not free to decide anything.
So true, so true.
You may feel like you make decisions, but you're actually on autopilot. The motions of the particles that make up your brain cells that made you watch this video were decided 14 billion years ago. You're just in the room when it happens.
I think that's a bit
You're only
incorrect,
how
really.
The universe inside
That doesn't
you
make much
unfolds
sense.
in real time. But
To
this
think
can't
that
be
everything
true
is
because of quantum mechanics.
Decided like billions and billions of years ago. That seems a bit absurd. Also, Toxic Cannon, he said for school, not from school.
Right? Quantum processes are intrinsically random, not deterministic, and can't be predicted with total certainty. On the quantum pool table, balls can go randomly left or up or banana. Their behavior isn't set by what came before, but randomly decided in real time.
I don't think it's randomly
But
decided,
for the
but
no free will camp, this doesn't affect that.
I think there's elements to it that like kind of decide where you're gonna go, but it's not like predetermined like thousands of years ago. You could like say that it is determined by the past things that happened in the past for you and shit like that. But in that case, I mean, I guess there is no true free will, but it's still free will. It's not like it's completely out of your control, whatsoever. You still decide to do it.
Their argument. They think that since quantum processes are random, they don't allow you to make any decisions. Because if there's randomness for the things that fundamentally make up your brain and body, these random processes make the decisions for you. How? Say an electron...
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, if they're gonna say everything's predetermined, that's kind of dumb, I feel like, because, to be fair, what was it predetermined that I would out-race every single other sperm cell? Was that predetermined? Or was that literally just luck? Hey, maybe I was just an asshole as a sperm, just fucking tipped one guy over, you know what I mean? Or some shit, I had that I was just, like, determined to be, like, this sperm cell is gonna make it, that's 100% guarantee. I could have been any other sperm cell.
If it goes left, it triggers electric currents between your
I think
neurons
that's really predetermined, that makes no sense.
Process, which triggers a long chain of actions that make you watch a YouTube video. Or it goes right and makes you clean your room. Just because the chain is extremely complex doesn't mean you have any control over it. So maybe your fate was not decided at the Big Bang, but it is decided at this very moment. The important part is that it's not decided by you. You get no say in this.
Yeah, I feel like saying the people who say that shit, that you don't have any free will whatsoever, and hello Daniel, and that everything's predetermined for you. I feel like the only people who would say that are people who regret the past decisions that they made and just want an excuse, saying that it's not their fault because they had no choice in the matter, which I feel like is a bit stupid. No, Toxic Cannon, it's not illegal to fucking watch videos for school.
Wow, this is kind of a bummer because the argument fundamentally seems to make sense. Except, no, screams the free will side. This is a really bad way to think about the universe. You are the main character. We know that
I think that's also a pretty stupid thing to think. You know what I mean? Why is there like no middle camp? I'm not an NPC or the main character. I'm just a character, you know? We all play a character. In the world, there is no main character.
Thing that exists to its basic particles and the laws that guide them. While this makes physics feel like the only scientific discipline that actually matters,
I'm the main character of my own life, and that's about it.
Explain everything in our universe only in terms of particles. One key fact about reality that we can't explain by looking just at electrons and quantum stuff is emergence. Emergence is when many small things together create new fundamental traits that didn't exist before.
Isn't that the thing that like Vsauce made a video about, saying like, what is a chair? What is a chair? You know what I mean?
Water is just a sextillion H2O molecules. If you get water on your pants, they get wet. But what is wetness? H2O molecules are not wet, but your pants are definitely wet now.
Yep.
Many small things together just created something new that doesn't exist at the level of the individual molecules.
I'm more leaning towards this camp, honestly.
Occurs at all levels of
I like to
reality,
take responsibility for my actions, thank you very much, and not just blame it on, it was out of my control.
Molecules, cells,
Seems a bit
tissues,
childish.
organs, you, society. Put many things in one layer together and they'll create the next layer up. Every time they do, entirely new properties emerge. One atom can't handle information, but many of them together can form a DNA molecule.
Indeed.
Molecules are not alive, but many of them can form a cell, and cells are alive.
You know, it's funny, you can tell which camp he's in, because he put this afterwards, and he's speaking much more, like, excitedly about this one.
With each jump up the complexity ladder, the rules of what's possible change. Completely new things emerge that are much more than the sum of their parts. And here, the reductionist view of the universe breaks down. The layers of reality need each other to make sense. You can explain living things with cells, cells with molecules, and molecules with atoms. But because of emergence, you can't start with quantum particles and reconstruct the universe. You can't explain galaxies with quantum mechanics or human psychology with quarks.
Indeed.
This is not the whole story. Reality is not just structured in layers, but for
Yeah,
some
he's
reason,
clearly in this camp. I gotta say, he's clearly in this camp. He's really selling this camp, but the other one, he's just like, kind of like, yeah, just explain what they believe in, but that's about it.
things existing within the same layer can influence each other and maybe a layer up or down.
I thought this guy was
They don't
non-biased.
seem to influence things much higher up or down. To figure out how your organs work, you don't need quarks. To understand politics, you don't need to know about cells. If you want to explain things happening on one layer, you can only do that by staying close to that layer. No,
So true.
screams the no free will camp in frustration. You can't just use magic to explain free will. But the emergence argument doesn't invoke magic. It just says that thinking about free will...
Yeah, okay, he's clearly, dude, dude, this is the most biased fucking educational video I've ever seen in my life.
fundamental laws is a dead end. A kind of category error, like trying to explain galaxies by looking at your digestive tract. It's part of a reductionist school of thinking about the universe that very successfully shaped science for a long time, but that's challenged by emergence. So maybe trying to understand free will by looking at fundamental particles, deterministic laws, and quantum mechanics misses the point.
Indeed.
The question we should be asking is, which layer of reality is relevant to free will? Well, just like no individual molecule creates wetness, not a single cell in your brain wants to watch YouTube. But one layer
Just
up,
a single
your
cell
brain
wants to
made
watch
of
YouTube.
80 billion interconnected
Everyone else wants to do something
neurons
productive, but the
does.
single cell always wins.
On this layer, all the things relevant to you emerge. Your consciousness, character, feelings, your fears and dreams. This is where you emerge. We don't know why and how, but we know that you're here right now. How all the things going on in your brain play off
I like
each other
how
to
he
make
uses a
you.
child as a representation for, you know, you're here right now, speaking to the audience, because the audience is children.
Who you are is a whole different
But again,
can of
so is mine.
worms. But on this layer of reality,
Sadly.
you are part of the decision process. Because at this level, you are just one more physical cause of whatever happens in your brain. You are shaped by your decisions, and your decisions are shaped by you. You have a say about this layer of reality. you are not just witnessing how the universe inside you unfolds, you're actually taking part in it. And you're free to do so however you see fit. At least this is how some on the free will side see it. Conclusion and opinion. So,
I was gonna give his
who's
opinion
right?
or what?
Is there free will? We don't know. If you ask us personally, we think the argument for free will is more appealing because it brings the complexity of the universe to the table.
I think the argument against free will would be more appealing to most people because it lets you deny your responsibility for your own actions by saying it's all predetermined and I had no choice in the matter. So I feel like that one would be more appealing to more people, but I don't know. For me, definitely not. For me, the free will one is appealing.
Maybe existence
Just because I hate that
for some
fucking
of its
shit,
parts,
you know?
But at least for now, it seems the
Hello,
universe
Jacob.
is not that simple. But even if we don't have free will, it's not clear what that changes for practical purposes. You and us, we humans, on a purely subjective basis, feel like we have free will and that your decisions are yours to make.
Indeed.
As long as we're not sure either way, and if it feels like you're making decisions, what does it matter if a non-existent supercomputer could have calculated the future at the Big Bang?
So
Or if
true,
quantum
so
stuff
true.
all the way down randomly nudges your cells one way or the other. Free will that feels free is good enough for us. In any case,
So true.
now you can decide.
I love how
what
he
to
has
do
the
next.
gamer in his room and they're just like, look at this, just like stink coming off of him. A very accurate depiction of a gamer.
In any case, now you can decide what to do next. Maybe get some stuff done, or watch more of our videos.
Nah,
It's
no
your
thanks.
decision. Probably.
Is there more?
At least you can pick which video to watch next.
Advertisement. Is it just that? Is the whole thing? Yeah. Yeah, that was the video. It's just the ad. Oh, they put the ad right at the end. That's actually goated, kinda, because it just lets me skip it. But yeah.